Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to
Mercy
Tallahassee.
if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly, you hoodie girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Beat the gameplay, they want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets after buckets, baby. You're out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. She's Melissa. That was really weird. I panicked and forgot that I'm the one that intro the show.
You intro and you end the show.
You're the CEO. Actually, you end the show. You cue the Sox intro.
Yeah, but I wait for Matt's finish and then I just cue the ending. But it's Matt that usually has the final thought.
I was like sitting here for half a second. I was like, oh.
It's been a bit. It's been a bit since we've done a Buckets.
Yeah, but there was a longer break because it's been like a week and a half or 2 weeks.
It hasn't been that long, yeah.
Well, we had one, and then like before that, it was like a month because there was high school basketball and college football. So
yeah,
I hope you guys can't hear my washing machine in the background.
Oh, we absolutely can.
Definitely can.
I thought it was Matt's window opening, to be honest.
Do you really hear it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me shut the door.
It's all the hoodies that are stuffed in there.
That didn't really help that much, but anyway.
Okay.
It did. Okay.
I know it did for sure.
Yeah,
I just realized how loud it got as we went on air. I'm like, oh, it's in the spin cycle. Uh-oh.
Oh my god.
All right, so we're going to discuss the women's team first because a game just happened, and then we're going to go into the men's. So the women just played this evening Stanford, which was a big game because Stanford was a spot ahead of us in the standings, and they won. Miami won 66-51 behind Gower Vives 19 points and only one turnover, which turnovers have been an issue for her. So that's
in
awesome.
Which. That happened like towards the end of the game. It was like
no,
honestly,
turnover was like the beginning of the game.
I thought she had one at the end when she threw a pass like they were pressing.
She traveled on the second possession of the game. So
yeah, well, whatever it was, they didn't give her a turnover on that other one. So we jumped Stanford in the standings, which is big because ACC tournament seeding. Me and Vish were at the game. A lot of conversations happened during that game. The first one, which isn't necessarily basketball related, but I'm bringing it up because I thought it was hilarious. So other teams do this as well, but there's like a rolled up towel that's tied that the incoming player passes to the outgoing player who then just gives it to one of the team managers and no one ever uses that towel. What is the purpose of that? Fish got so mad every time somebody would sub in. They're like,
well,
I mean, it's the purpose of the towel?
They've been doing it all year. I would like to know the process that goes into. Let's cut up some ribbon. Let's tie these towels up and have the players subbing in pass them off the baton. Like, can we work on free throw shooting instead? Because we're not very good at it. Minus Shay, who is elite at the free throw line.
Well, in the team's defense, only 2 people took free throws tonight, and Shay had 10 of the 12. Nay missed both of hers, and then Shay was 9 of 10. And and she missed her last one because I jinxed it because I talked about how good her free throw shooting was, and then she missed the next one. All right, we can talk basketball now because I just wanted to bring up the towel situation. Matt, you watched?
Yeah, I watched like bits and pieces, mainly
So Matt
first
hasn't
quarter
watched
and
many of the women's games because the Barons were busy, in the playoffs and whatnot. So what were your thoughts, Matt?
I mean, Raviv had a really good game. I was shocked, like, since I haven't really been following. Men's. I watched like the last 2-3 games. I want to say, just because it worked out better, like schedule wise. But just looking at the stats, I was just kind of shocked at like 3-point percentage, some other free throw percentage as well, turnovers, whatnot. Just kind of didn't really see that coming. I thought guard play shooting was going to be
Better.
a lot better. I thought we were going to be more efficient offensively. I thought Raviv played really well today. Nay, still a dog. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's you guys can answer this better than me. Is she kind of inconsistent offensively?
The whole
Like what
team
you're going to
is.
get from her? Yeah, well, yeah.
No, I mean we don't have
But the thing,
any consistent offense.
yeah, the thing that we were kind of talking about it a little bit is just it's interesting, like just rhythm wise. Like I feel like it's really hard as a basketball player to get into like some sort of offensive rhythm when you play like different tempos. And I kind of feel like offensively, like we just, from what I saw today, it's just like we're focused on. I mean, I don't know what we're trying to do offensively. I haven't watched enough, but it just looks like there's different moments where we like are playing at a slower pace and then a faster, and it's kind of hard to change, like on the dime like that. But
It's something me and Vish have talked about a lot, and I've tweeted about it a lot tonight, is that there's so much focus on trying to get Shea touches in the paint because she's such a big player, and obviously she's a lot, that it's almost forced, and not almost, it is forced, and we spend like 20 seconds of the 30-second shot clock trying to get the ball into the post where we're not really looking to do anything else but looking inside, and we're just passing the ball around the top of the key until she gets the ball inside, and then if we can't get the ball into her, we just jack up a three at the end of the shot clock, and that's what happens a lot if we're not like out in transition and trying to score that way, and it just cuts off the whole rhythm of the game. And we haven't done a pod since the SMU win, but Shea didn't play the entire second half of the SMU game in Dallas, and we were down 17 points, and we came back and won with Shea on the bench the entire second half. And this isn't a knock on Shea because she's a very important player to our team, and we've had games where we don't win without her, and obviously she's big on the boards. But there needs to be some type of offensive game plan and just some fluidity and just like organically getting her the ball instead of forcing it every time. Because we have guards that can do stuff. Gal Raviv's mid-range game is elite. Multiple mid-range jumpers today. Amarachi has a good mid-range game. I think Amarachi has a quick first step to the hoop. I wish she would fake the three and drive more than she does. Wetzel's coming along as far as her 3-point shooting. It's getting better. It's hard to have an offensive identity when your offensive identity is forcing the ball into the post even when it's not there. Vish.
Yeah,
Vish agrees with me because he was getting mad the whole game.
I mean, it's periods of success and a lot of bad basketball we've seen this year, just to be blunt about it. Part of it is when you basically have an entirely new team together, you're going to have some of that. But yeah, it's kind of weird that we don't really have a team identity. And I wouldn't say program. I know Nate, shout out to Nate in the comments talking about program identity. I think we're still, our center is with her third college and is in her fifth season because of a COVID year, still is lingering there. And yeah, you're not going to really build an identity around a bunch of players that are like 1 year, but the team, I don't know what we're trying to do. I mean, if you look at how we've won games, as Melissa mentioned, the SMU game, we won after we benched who is ostensibly our best player for the second half. we won at Wake Forest because Meredith Kintner came in and like just dominated the entire second half of the game out of nowhere and won the game for us. Like it's been these weird oddball things.
And,
You know, the last 2 games, Natalie has been huge where we don't win either of those. So maybe that's something as part of the development. But
this isn't us trying to be Debbie Downers on the team. Obviously, 2 back-to-back wins, we need them.
Yeah.
But let's be real. Stanford, most of the game was shooting under 30% from the field. They ended on 32%. If we play a team with a pulse that shoots better, we lose this game.
Well, I'll say one thing in that
Stanford
we
got
did
to within
play
4 in the fourth quarter because we go through these sports where we don't score the ball for like 5 minutes, and it's cost us games where we've gotten back into the game or we've gotten 8-9 point leads and we have a chance to go up by double digits and we don't do it.
Yeah, I will say though, some of that with Stanford, and I haven't watched them play a lot. I have no idea, you know, what they normally shoot, and if some of their shooters, obviously, they don't normally shoot that bad, or they wouldn't have won a game. But some of it was our defense too. I thought we did a really good job closing out on their shooters. And this year, we've done a lot of leaving people wide open from 3. They didn't get a lot of good looks from distance. So I thought we did a reasonable job defending them, and some of it was them missing shots, but they weren't getting a lot of. I wasn't like, oh man, they're missing easy shots.
They're not a good 3-point shooting team.
They didn't have a post that could really post up to Kyle. And some of it, them saying in the game, it being close is we were 50% on layups. Like we missed. What was it? Hold on, let me pull the stat back up. We were 9 of 18 from point blank range. Layups. Easy shots right under the basket, right there. You gotta make those shots. You cannot be missing that many layups. But it is a win. That's 2 in a row.
But that is unfortunate. So here again, like some of them were blown layups, obviously, but a lot of those, I mean, we don't have this level of statistics, but like we tend to do a lot of driving into the paint and
throwing the ball up.
Yeah, in traffic. That's not, I mean, it'll go down on the shot chart and then the statistics will miss layup, but it's really like Nay trying to shoot over 3, 6'5" centers and just like shoving, like that's not a high percentage layup. So I will say from a shooting standpoint, in terms of like in the post, this was by far Shay's worst game. I mean, by the end when she
1 of 7 from the field.
Yeah, it was a jumper.
And that one was an elbow jumper, which she didn't jump.
Yeah, she didn't score in the
shot
post.
It like a free throw.
And it got progressively worse to the point that she airballed one of her. I mean, it was whatever was going on
9
there.
of 10 from the free throw line.
Right. No,
our 6'6" center is our best free throw shooter.
Yeah, so I mean, so that I think also colored some of the layup numbers when like she just could not finish around the rim for whatever reason.
Honestly, on back-to-back possessions, Amarachi and Gal missed easy layups on back-to-back possessions. So there are buckets that we should be getting that we're not. But I do. So Stanford got to within 4 early in the fourth quarter, and then we went on a run. It wasn't. I don't remember exactly what it was because I think Stanford had a bucket in between all of it. But Nat made a 3. I think Nay got a steal and on the press and got a bucket, and then Nat faked a 3 and drove and made a layup. Shay had a couple of free throws, and for a few minutes there, it seemed like we had a lot of rhythm, and then we subbed.
Yeah, I mean, there was. Yeah, I mean. We're 6 and 9.
It's not something we've talked about a lot because we haven't done a lot of shows, but the rotation and the subbing throughout a game and the timeout usage, I don't understand. I can't even count on one hand, like at least 2 hands, how many times Wetzel's been subbed out, like after she's done something really good, whether it's gotten a board, made a bucket, made a good defensive play. Like and Nate was commenting on the buckets, and so was somebody else that follows us. Wetzel really deserves more playing time. We don't win the last game without her first half, and then she only played 4 minutes in the second half, and she had 14 points in the first half. She only got credit for 1 rebound. But if I can tell you how many times somebody else got a rebound because she put a body on someone and boxed them out, which allowed somebody else to get the board, she'd probably have 10. So me and Vish were very loud in the stands cheering for Nat.
Yeah, I just don't. Look, so we're 6-9 in conference. We're a weird team. We've lost to any good team we played. This is actually.
And we've lost to a bad team.
One bad.
The FSU loss was bad.
Yeah, but they're actually only like a game. Actually, I guess 2 games. They lost to Cal tonight behind us in the standings. But we've lost to any like quad. I think our quad 1, quad 2 record is like 1-11 or 12 or something. That's most of our losses.
And you ought to remember, early in the season, we lost to Oklahoma State and Iowa, both top 25 teams, by 3 points.
Yeah,
and
but what else?
At that point, I was telling lies because we were so close in those games. I'm like, oh, we're gonna compete in ACC play. Like those are 2 really good teams, and then.
Well, we're a weird team, right? Because we're 4-4 on the road. Mm-hmm. We've been better on the road than at home in ACC play. I don't know what to make of this team. People go hot and cold. Vicky doesn't even play anymore. I honestly, it's just, there was a point where like she had to be on the court at all times, otherwise we couldn't make a jumper, and now she's like barely playing. So I don't know. This season's been weird. I think there's an element of figuring it out. We're gonna obviously see players leave in the offseason because that's just the way this sport works.
I think you put it pretty good in the offseason where like on paper we had a lot of talent, but you said this is one of those things where it's either going to go really good or it can go really bad. And I think we're leaning towards the really bad.
I think it's in the
remember all of us picked the women to finish top 5.
So well we overrated them, look, and frankly, but if you look at where again, I think there's a dichotomy between, and this is a stupid thing to say, but the results and when you watch the team play, because again, we're 6-9 conference isn't great. It's not terrible. 4-4 on the road is actually good.
We just haven't
we're a ball bouncing the right way, winning one of those quad 1 games away from like potentially making the tournament. Mm-hmm. We lost them all though, so it's not happening. But it's like, so it's not. I actually think I was wrong, and it's kind of landed somewhere in the middle. It's not been great. It's not been a disaster either. It's disappointing because you see these moments of quality play, and you're like, why can't we keep that consistent? We just don't. I mean, there are games we were playing really well. That game in Virginia that we talked about, I think we did a show after where, or actually I did a show where I talked to Cameron. It's one of those. We were up at the half at Virginia, who was going to make the tournament. And we just played an awful second half that looked like we didn't know how to play basketball. And those periods seem to happen in every game. And that's the next evolution of this. You can't do that against this caliber of competition. You just can't. We have these like 5 or 6 minute spurts where it's just like really terrible. We got away with it today. We were up by 12 and they cut it to 4, like you said, and then we went on a run and put the game away. But that they cut it to 4 because we played terrible hoops. We were throwing up wild shots in the paint. Back-to-back air balls. We were throwing up wild shots in the paint. We were wasting shot clocks trying to force the ball in. And, well, I mean, so actually, Ned makes a good point. I'll say this, right? So you mentioned earlier that Jay Lucas, kind of know what he's trying to do. This is a little bit contrary to what we were talking about in the preseason, but I feel like Jay Lucas understands a lot more about what it takes to win at the P4 level than Trisha Cullop does at this juncture. That's all he's coached is as an assistant. But I think if you think about like how we approach this season, obviously a lot has changed, and one of our key players that we were supposed to rely on left the program after getting injured. Who knows what the bleep happened there? But like the idea of like the way you win in the ACC is to put those two together and pound people. Like, no one. What? There's a difference between what we did last year, where we were like undersized at every guard position, and just like we're gonna play two centers. Like, who does that? I'm watching Hannah Hidalgo run circles around everyone. That's what I'm seeing. I don't really see a lot of like two center. I don't know that. I think the first year probably a little bit caught them off guard in terms of how physical. And we saw that the first time we got killed last year. We were playing really well, and then Vanderbilt came in, and they physically beat the shit out of us.
That shot
And they
right
were
over.
more physical. They were bigger. They were stronger. And I think we saw that happen throughout ACC play last year. And I think the reaction to that was we got to get bigger, we got to get stronger. And I think they tried to do that, and especially our freshmen, were actually like the more physical players on this team than some of the returning players. So I think we're taking steps towards that. But I never thought the answer was shove the ball into the post on every play. Because you're gonna do that, you better have like elite. And no offense to Shay, but she's too inconsistent in the paint. Like, you remember a few years ago when like Elizabeth Kitley was like for Virginia Tech, like you couldn't stop her. If you're gonna play through the post, you need that level of play, because frankly, it's 2026. People shoot 3-pointers, so you're necessarily playing for twos when you're doing that. And if you don't score consistently in that, you're bogging everything down. You're giving them opportunities to score. When you miss around the basket, it's much easier for them to fast break, because you're losing floor balance. Like, it's just, I think that was a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a tactical error, because we never really saw them play together. But I think they're still kind of evolving in terms of like, what is it actually going to take to win in this conference? And I don't know that they're there yet. And it'll be interesting to see who stays and who goes, and kind of how they form this team next year. But I will be pretty disappointed, given that Natalie has shown me something. Danielle has some maturing to do in terms of shot selection, but is really physical. Soma has given us moments. Candace has gotten a lot. We got to credit the stuff. Candace and Natalie have gotten so much better where they are now from where they were at the beginning. So I would like to see them continue to get more minutes next year versus like going back into the portal for another rent-a-center that we felt the need to like shove the ball into repeatedly, like we did last year with Cam. Also, I feel like let these players mature, and I think there's a lot more there than we've seen. So, but I think
Amarachi has gotten better through the season too. I think she's picked her shots better.
I think her and Gal, look, they had to adjust to playing against much better competition. It's one thing to do it one time, when you have a one-off game against like a P4 school, and then when you get, physically beat up every game, you get to like the 5th ACC game in a row, because you're going to play like 18 in a row, and you keep getting hit. Like, Gal, definitely that physicality, not just because she's wearing a face mask, because actually I've been practice, but like you can tell, like she's finally, it seems like she's getting her sea legs back. But those games where she was turning it over double-digit times, I don't know if she actually got to double digits, but it was all like between 7 and 9 turnovers, like 4 or 5 games in a row. A lot of it was like she was tired, but not like oh, she's out of shape tired, just like physically getting beat up and just was not adjusting to it because it's different. And I think you saw the last few games, she's starting to kind of get her sea legs, her jumper's starting to go in again. She's not turning the ball over as much. And I think part of that's just adjusting to playing in like a physical conference when they weren't doing that last year. It's tougher.
We need.
But again, well, they've won. Okay, so let's again. We've been obviously slanted negative here, but like we said, several of these players have gotten better as the year's gone on. I think Anae Adams actually got a lot better. She's a lot more under control than she was earlier in the year.
Yeah,
that's helped a lot. Like, she's picking her spots a lot better. There was a point where she would one of the things, Melissa, we talked about actually like probably a month ago, which I've seen happen less and less, is there was a period of time where when we would get an offensive rebound, there was a 50% chance someone on our team was going to shoot a transition three from 3 feet behind the 3-point line before we could even get down the court. We're not really doing that shit anymore. Like, so there has been improvement. And look, 6-9 in conference isn't great. There's 3 games in front of this team. They're gonna make the ACC tournament. They clinched that tonight, which obviously we didn't last year. But I mean, they would have had to collapse to not make it. Like, they're much better. So let's see if you get to 7, 8 wins. Like 9 would be a stretch here, but like that's not. It's not where it's not where we wanted to be, or not where we we're hoping to be, but it is actually where the writers voted them because they were picked to finish 8th.
8th, yeah.
So these last 3 games matter a lot in terms of like program momentum.
I think we were looking at this team through our orange and green glasses.
Well, we do that all the time.
Yeah.
Covering.
So, meanwhile, the men are exceeding our expectations currently.
Yeah.
Do we?
But I mean, look, there's still. Yeah, just real quick to wrap the one. There's been improvement. The team does appear together. Like, I don't really see a lot of. They generally seem to like each other, which I'm not sure was the case last year, frankly. And so I do think there's some camaraderie here. So while again, not what we expected or hoped for, but I do think there is some foundation being laid here that they can build upon. But we'll see. Some of this might just be the freshmen maturing, and that might help a lot because, frankly, then I don't want to say coach themselves, but there is an element of like, as a basketball player, you have to be able to do certain things without the coach holding your hand. And I still feel like a lot of these freshmen are in that phase of like that to be told how to do every single thing. And next year, hopefully that's not the case.
We'll see.
But it's not sky is falling. I mean, 6-9 is not great, but it's not terrible. 1-2 in a row. Cal's coming in on Sunday, smack them in the face, and then
I think it's just more frustration, especially for me and Vish, because obviously we've been going to the games, watching all the games, and you see what can be because the team has flashes, and then you have these scoring droughts and these double-digit turnovers and a half type. You wonder what could have been. But Big Two.
That's not over yet. It's not over yet. There's 3 games left, and there's an opportunity to win those 3 games. And
do we still have a sponsor?
We do not. We're getting a new one, but we don't have.
I didn't know if we needed a break.
Let's move on to the men. Copy later this week. But anyway, just to wrap up the women, Cal at home, Pittsburgh at home. Pittsburgh is awful. Pittsburgh.
We've already beat them once, haven't we? Didn't we play there?
I don't know. They've lost 11 games.
Or maybe that was the night. Maybe that was the. I don't know.
They've lost 11 games in a row. So and then Georgia Tech is also they're kind of around us in the standings. They're 7-8. We're 6-9. And Cal is 8-7. Like, you can actually win these games. So go win these games. Get to 9-9.
Seeding implications for the ACC tournament.
Well, there's also just momentum in the program, right? Finish strong.
So, all right.
Like, you're trying to lay a foundation and build year upon year.
Yeah.
Finish strong. There's 3 winnable games, 2 are at home. Go win them all.
On to the men. The men played yesterday. Was that yesterday? No, the day before.
No, it's Tuesday.
They beat Virginia Tech 67-66. Jay Lucas now has 21 wins this season.
Crazy.
I can say for the 3 of us on this show, none of us saw this coming. So we are pleasantly wrong about what our preseason predictions were. We are 4th in conference right now. Someone correct me if I'm wrong.
Great question.
Because we hopped NC State by beating them.
Yeah, and we hopped North Carolina. We are 3rd.
We are 3rd in conference right now.
Wow.
Pretty crazy considering our pretty much our rotation is 6 guys. With a couple extra guys that come in just spell our main six. I don't know how we're doing it because the guy's got to be freaking exhausted. Renew played the entire game, although he missed a lot of second half with a migraine to the point where Trey Donaldson thought he was going to throw up on the court because he was that dizzy. So against Virginia Tech, Trey Donaldson, 32 points in 36 minutes, made the game-winning free throw. Free throw shooting is still an issue. Renew only had 9 points. Again, he had a migraine. Shelton 9, Ude 4, Dante Allen 10. So Donaldson willed us to victory. We've won 4 straight, and we've got Virginia on the road coming up. They're
Virginia's second. Virginia's second in the conference, so
we've got Virginia left. We've got Louisville left. We've got Boston College, SMU, and FSU left. So UVA and Louisville, we definitely the underdogs for the other 3 games are very winnable games.
I actually don't think Louisville's at home. I don't know that.
Aren't they?
Well, what's the last game of the year? So we got to see. Like,
we'll see. They've got that one. Right? They got that one guy who's like.
Yeah, but we got to see how the games leading up to that go. But if we played right now at home, we'd be favored. Pretty confident.
Really?
Yeah. They're.
I don't follow like. I mean, I followed the other teams, but not as much, obviously. As
well, I mean, look, they're 19-7, 8-5 in conference. We talked about this a lot, right? Like this became a big issue in football with the way like the championship game laid out, but it's also an issue in all sports. Like the schedules are so imbalanced.
Yeah,
like, we don't play Duke; they're in first place.
Nate has a point. FSU is on a heater. I think they've won like 5 straight.
Man, F that program.
I know we gotta drop the curse of Coach Ham. Like,
there's no curse, okay?
We just
stop being dumb. Just stop being dumb fucks and go win the game.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. We're gonna blow them out.
Matt, what are your thoughts on the men's season so far?
I mean, I just got to say from the perspective of like building a culture in a year, no returners,
which is
having some freshmen. Yeah. Well, yeah. Having 2 freshmen be like key role guys. But just like the physicality they play with is like the biggest thing for me, and the physicality without fouling. And then just like the way they attack the offensive glass, I was looking at some like stats. They're like 13th in offensive rebound percentage, or no, defensively we're 13th in offensive rebound percentage, which is impressive given like we do play a good amount of zone. Usually, when that's the case, it's that number kind of dwindles. But yeah, no, we're 17th offensively in offensive rebounder percentage. So, really has a culture that he's gotten guys to buy into, and just the efficiency from like 2-point range, like getting shots like at the rim and shooting them at a high clip. I was looking, there's a statistic of like near proximity attempts per game. So it's like layups, dunks, tip-ins. We're at like 47.5% of our shots are like at the rim. It's 3rd in the nation. So
we're a terrible 3-point shooting and free throw shooting team.
Yeah, but like it just goes to show, it's what we're gonna do, and you still can't stop it, right?
Shout out to True Washington though. The fact that he made those 3 free throws at NC State, like me and Vish were following the stat broadcast from the baseball game, and we're thinking it's over with like a minute left. We're down like 7. And then we kind of see it, and then he's like, "Oh, True's going to line for the chance to tie it." And then he's like, "Oh wait, he got fouled on a 3." Like we're not even watching the game; we're just waiting for the stat broadcast to update. But to come in after not playing for 2.5 weeks and to make such an impact, because he had hit a 3 before that too. So shout out to him. Not the greatest of games the last game, but you see different guys stepping up. Like Ude had 4 points in this last game, but he makes a difference.
No, he's huge defensively.
Yeah.
Like if you look at like the advanced metrics and stuff, like he's like his block percentage and his ability to contest shots, and even just his movement to like recover and stuff. It's insane. Just got a lot of guys that are just dogs defensively that just really get after it.
That
Like,
one
Trey-
alley he had where he it was like a CJ Daniels type thing. He reached all the way back to get it and then threw it down. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Because we have
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 of those a game from him.
Yeah.
It's so nice to have
So-
a center that's not soft.
He's definitely not soft.
Well, the whole team is. It's a sledgehammer. We have no precision. We can't shoot. We just bully ball into the bucket and score a lot of points doing it. I mean, that's really. Shove the opponent everything into the basket. Like that's really everything
We know
is
we
like
can't
force
shoot.
your
Like,
way
holy shit! How is Shelton Henderson a freshman? Like, that's
Yeah,
insane.
he's massively
Massive
physical
human
and,
being.
yeah, and he's physical, and the whole team is physical. The Donaldson for a point guard is fucking built like a tank, and like we run it. Literally, the offense is bowl your way into the paint and get the ball up, and then like Matt said, chase it down and force the ball into the rim. Like we force the ball into the basket. Like, I mean that's how we play. And then defensively, yeah, we play a lot of zone because one, we don't have depth. Two, we're kind of terrible at man-to-man defense because the same reason that we're physical and kind of lumbering on offense, which worse because we just play through the contact, and on defense we can't really keep guys in front of us. So it's a challenge on that end. But yeah, no, we're just very physical and we punch people essentially, and just it's not always pretty, but it's 40 minutes of just really just playing physical, and that's why we go through those drought periods. That's why we blow leads too, because it's not necessarily sustainable.
We do it every game. We come out multiple games this year. We've come out quick and built like 8 to 10 point leads, and then as soon as we go to sub, we lose. I think it was 12-4 against Virginia Tech, and then Virginia Tech came back and actually took the lead at one point, like 5 minutes later. To me, honestly, watching Shelton, because Shelton's gotten a lot better through the season. Like, you've seen a lot of improvement with him, and he's not even close to his ceiling yet. Like, he's just a unicorn. Like, right now, he's using his athleticism to do what he's doing. Wait till he actually, uses, the skill that he's developing. Like, I hope
he's gotten a lot better at, picking driving lanes, too. I feel like he was forcing them a lot.
He doesn't foul as much either. Like, his defense has gotten better. Because at the beginning of the season, he was having to sit half the first half because he would pick up 2 fouls so quickly. So his free throw shooting is still horrendous. But
well, I mean, the whole team's is. So there's not.
It is what it is. Well,
I do think. Look, we've been positive here. I will say, Jay Lucas is I'm more concerned with the number of attempts. We get to the line a ton because, again, we're very physical and we play through contact. We're very happy to force our way into the paint 5 times in a row, get to the line twice, and, get not get called because we can score through the contact anyway. Most teams will back if you go into the paint a few times, you kind of get fouled, but they're not calling it. We'll stop doing it. We don't give a shit because we'll play through the contact and score anyway. But his whole thing of I don't really care about the percentage. I just want to make sure we get to the line 25 to 30 times. That's not. No, you got to make the fucking free throws. It's that NC State game. Yeah, True made the 3 at the end. Thank God. And frankly, if we were on the other side of that and they called that foul, I think we all would be complaining about that still. But
it
was technically a foul, but man, that was ticky tack and certainly didn't affect the shot. But he made those 3, but that only is a game instead of us blowing them out because we couldn't make free throws.
Yeah, I mean, we weren't bad last game. We were 9 of 13 from the line against Virginia Tech, which we only got to the line 13 times. So I don't know if Lucas is happy about that. But I mean, to put it all in perspective, yes, we're a horrible free throw shooting team. We're a horrible 3-point shooting team. But if you would have told me preseason that we're in February and we've already got 20 plus wins, I would have laughed in your face. What Lucas is able to do with a team that he had to throw together from the portal and a couple of freshmen. And like I said at the beginning, we really have our rotation is 6 guys, and then you just have a few other guys that you're throwing in there just to spell people. Because you've got a guy who's supposed to be a 3-point specialist who's shooting 30% from 3.
Yeah, you can't nickname yourself 3, but
and you've got a backup center. Yeah, and then you've got a backup center who I will say has improved a bit, but
When we talk about player development, we were
Yeah,
talking about some
in
of
no-
the women's
in no
players.
way should he-
Altutus is
yes, in no way should he be playing power conference basketball. He's a body, and then Dovrat doesn't get enough minutes for me to have an opinion on him. So
I actually disagree on Altutus. I've come around on him.
no, he's gotten better, but I just think there's no reason he shouldn't be in a power conference right now. I think he would benefit a lot from playing at a smaller school. We need a body, but he has become less of a liability. He has gotten better.
I disagree. I think he belongs in the power conference. I think Jalen's doing a tremendous job. First of all, not doing what I would have done after I saw him out on the court twice. Just go sit on the bench or never play again. We were all frustrated when he stuck with him, and that's definitely paid off. He's given us quality minutes now. He seems to know where he's going. He is physical. Like, he's a backup big. I would say for someone I don't think he's a starter in a P4 conference, but doesn't belong on the roster. I don't agree anymore. And I 100% would have agreed with you 2 months ago. But
No, he's got.
I've seen enough
I've
seen enough out of him where I think he does belong on this team.
No.
This level.
He's gotten a lot better, but I still don't
I think
know.
I think it's gotten. We're able to put him on the court and he's able to perform his role, which he's doing on a P4 level and we're winning games with him giving us minutes because Uday does get into foul trouble a lot. And you know what? He fits this team too because he's also a blunt instrument.
Yeah.
There ain't no precision in his game. He's gonna run into everything on the court. But one of the things, actually, more seriously, one of the things I've noticed about him, if you watch him defensively, he's gotten so much better about reading the plays and rotating properly. When early in the year, if you put him in a screen situation, you might as well just give him 2.
He was lost. Yeah. No, he has gotten a lot better.
He's gotten significantly
Yeah.
better, and I think from a physicality standpoint, a size standpoint, I don't see why he doesn't belong. I'm totally fine with him. I will say the other thing. When we talk about like lack of depth and all that, I mean, it's college basketball on the men's side. Like no one's running 10 deep. Like this is, and Shelton Henderson was one of the top recruits in the country. Like he would be starting on Duke right now if he wasn't at Miami. So like Trey Donaldson has been on multiple tournament teams in major conferences. Renault, I think Indiana kind of threw him away, but he was at Indiana. This is not nothing. Uday was a TCU. It's a Big 12 team. Like so. I think Jay Lucas is more. I know everyone's like focused on like, oh, he's doing this without like depth. His ability to get this team to play together when you get misshapen parts. We're talking about how the women have struggled with that. That to me is the most, not the lack of depth, but that these guys look like they've played together for multiple years and they were crammed together out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Because the individual parts, like that Trey Donaldson is a really good college point guard is not a surprise. We knew that when we got him. But the fact that he's able to play seamlessly with Renault is crazy. That like there's no, they look like they've been playing together for years. I think that's the best thing.
Renew being our number one option on offense completely took me by surprise this season. I wasn't expecting that. Because what was he like the 5th option at Indiana? I didn't really watch Indiana last year. Like it was.
I don't think he was even a starter, was he?
Yeah, I don't even know.
Yeah, he was.
Was he?
No, I think he was.
Yeah.
I also
he was a starter.
There's one guy we haven't mentioned, and that's Dante Allen, and how he's gone into the starting lineup with True Washington out, and I gotta give him credit, man. His defense is on point. That dude is hustling on defense. Sometimes his shot's falling, sometimes it's not, but that dude, credit to Dante again, another freshman. Like our freshman class was small, but Henderson and Allen, those were massive hits. And we've in the past. We've seen like one of our best freshman recruiting classes last year be a complete fail. So we hit. I mean, everyone knew Henderson, like he was a 5-star, but Dante Allen is holding his own and is doing a great job. We had him on the show over the summer, but I know that's Matt's guy.
Yeah, that's my guy. Well, no, Renault was like the leading scorer of Indiana last year, by the way.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. When we played them in the tournament, I think he might have been like 4th option or something because I think he was a sophomore or freshman.
That's where I remember him from.
Yeah, that's probably
I didn't have
why.
him on my list to be our leading guy, but and then I kind of worried at the beginning because like well, but we were playing lesser teams. But he continues to bang in the paint. Like,
Yeah. Well, you guys know how big I was on Trey when the
yeah,
announcement happened, and like I mean, my hot take was him making first team All ACC at the beginning of the season. I mean, there's a lot of good guys in the ACC right now, but like it's almost he's got to kind of be in the conversation.
I think he'll make an All ACC team, whether it's first team or not. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I think he needs to be in the discussion. I mean, 10th in scoring in the ACC, and then I think he's 4th in assists. So, and then just
Henderson,
one of the better
freshman team.
Yeah, one of the better guards defensively too in the ACC. So doing it on both sides of the floor. So
Nate says Dante's my favorite guy outside of Henderson. That dude is a straight savage defensively. You can't teach defensive intensity, and he has it. Yep.
He just wants to contribute and like help win. Did I tell you guys? I messaged him. I was like, "Yo, that was a huge steal you had." I think it was at the end of the Virginia Tech game or something. And he was like, "Thanks, appreciate it." He's like, "I'm just doing what I can to help win." And I was like, "I love it."
Gotta get him back on at the end of the season.
Yeah, he's a dog.
It's honestly, it's so funny because like my idea of where the women's team and the men's team would be at by this time of the season was like completely switched. I need to stop getting so hype on one and just like, but no,
it's insane. Like the culture that he's built, the adjustment to like personnel, like putting his personnel in the right spot, like to be successful and whatnot, like for a first year head coach, like that's insane.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Listen, a first-year head coach, not just at a program, but ever, like his first year head coaching in college basketball, period. He didn't come from a mid-major, nothing like that. Like his first head coaching job, completely had to rebuild a team, brought in 2 freshmen that they're both starting at this point and making significant contributions, and then getting a whole team out of the portal, getting these guys to click, like Vish said, and winning 20 plus games, and we're still in the middle of February, exceeds, like I had said, I went on Flow Show and I'm like, wow, if we make a tournament, like I'd be shocked. That would be like absolutely amazing. And we're right there.
Well, yeah, because it's tough to do. First time.
I mean, we're a lock at this point.
Yeah, like we're basically.
Well, going into the Virginia Tech game, there was I want to say we were projected as like 8 seed, sometimes some 7. So
yeah, but I think if you look at our remaining 3 games,
5.
Even if we lose them, 5, yeah. But even if we lose, like we'd have to almost lose out because you're not going to get shit for losing to Virginia or Louisville. No one's going to kill you for doing that.
Yeah.
So like,
can you bring up
really have to
last comment?
This.
Yeah, Nate says a lot of the things I expected him to struggle with game management as a first-time head coach, he's good at. I have to say, his halftime adjustments are really, really good. And also, his ability to draw up an inbounds play for a bucket, it's like it has to be like a 90+% success rate when we're like throwing it under the basket to get a bucket. I think I tweeted about it once. I was like, death taxes and a Jay Lucas inbounds play for a bucket. Like, He switches to zone sometimes for defense, and I think a lot of that, Matt, correct me if I'm wrong, is to give our guys a little bit of a breather because, like I said, I think it's
well, no, it's that, and then you mess up anything they want to do offensively.
I think there's
like
a part of it that is to give the guys a breather, and it's also to protect when Uda and Renew are in foul trouble. I think there's a part of that too, but I think we've learned to execute the zone defense pretty well. I honestly, I can't remember the last time I saw us play offense against the zone defense. I know we were struggling with that in the beginning of the season, but it's been a bit since anyone's played zone against us, so I can't speak on that. But I do appreciate his halftime adjustments. I do feel when we come out of the half, we do look like a better team and things get fixed. But I honestly, like, I'm excited about this team, and it's not just this year because like we're a tournament team, so that's exciting. But what he's been able to do as a first-year head coach just makes me excited for the future because imagine as he starts to build classes and he establishes more of a culture and guys are here for 2-3 years or whatever, like you hope that he's building something that you can sustain and then you're making a tournament every year. Like with Coach L, it was kind of like, oh, get a little bit better, have a couple of tournament runs, and then we go back to sucking, and then they have to build it up again. You're hoping to see the sustainability that he can recruit, and now he was able to recruit really good guys off of vision without anyone being able to see it. And now guys are going to be able to see what he's done this year, and hopefully he can continue to sell it because it's working.
Yeah, I mean, Coach L was of a different era, though. Like,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's different.
you mentioned like the recruiting class, which obviously last year was the #1 rated in school history. Like, he's not. We even talked about this, like with Jaleel. Like, is he really going to start a freshman? Because Coach L doesn't start freshmen. It's like, well, then I think it was a mismatch there. So that's why there were these highs and lows, because basically, you know, he was never going to load up with a bunch of like A-list talent freshmen and roll them out there, and that's just not his style. I will say, I mean, the last 2 years before the bad 2 years, he did have the Elite Eight and Final Four in back-to-back years. So that was one time where there was that continuity. I mean, let's see. We're early in this Jay Lucas project here. I will sit in the zone. Yeah, I mean, another reason we play a lot of zones because we suck man to man, and he's actually coaching. You know, he wants to play shit, but the man to man was atrocious. Look at the point totals earlier. You're gonna have 80 points, 79 points, like routinely. And I think he's like, I can't do this. Like, these guys can't. We can't guard. Like, I love Donaldson. He's not a good on the ball defender. Dante's gotten better, but he's still much better at the team defense than like one-on-one. Uday's very good in help defense, but I don't know about although no one really runs to the post anyway. But if you start looking around, like, not a lot of great individual defenders on this team, and I think that with the lack of depth, the foul, like if someone gets in a foul trouble, like Renault is not a good on the ball defender either. So I think it's like,
he's adjusted.
But I think that's driving a lot of it too. It's like we did try to play man to man over the year, and it was not.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. It's good coaching, and you see it when we come out of the half too, because he makes adjustments. I give him all his flowers in the world, man. He's doing an excellent job, exceeding my expectations on pretty much every level. Like, I did not expect to have a 20+ win season. So I'm excited. I'm excited. It's year one.
Yeah, I think part of it too, though, you know, what I would caution people on is I know our fans. And look, look, those last 2 games, when you're winning games by a point on free throws with like less than 10 seconds left in the game, it could easily coin flip back the other way. And this is a long-term project. And at least as far as I'm concerned, I think Pear said this earlier, like, year one has been a success, and I feel comfortable that he's the right man to lead the program forward. But I know that ball's going to bounce the other way too at some point, and people, our fans. I mean, we were just to be clear, we were sitting there in the press section of the game on Tuesday while the fans were simultaneously firing the basketball and baseball coaches. So, like, I just like, have patience with this, because if they didn't call a foul at the end of the NC State game, I don't think anyone would have been like, "Oh my God, that was a foul." They would have like, "Fuck, we lost. We almost came back, but we were down big late, and we kind of blew that game." And it would have been fine. We still would have been fine program-wise. It wouldn't change the trajectory of the program. But I think the attitude, because I think people are getting a little bit. Ireland fans love to get high just to crash down.
But these are the fans that like don't follow the program regularly and are just jumping on the hype train. Those of us in like our usual viewers that watch us on the regular understand the long-term trajectory. When I'm saying I'm excited, it's because year one, we're exceeding expectations. It appears as though, like you said, we've found the right guy. After we were skeptical because he had no experience as a head coach. He's able to recruit. He's been developing. He's developed the culture. We're winning games at the last second that, like you said, a coin flip, it could go the other way. last year we had 7 wins. So I'm excited. We're doing well. It gives me hope that we can sustain, continue to build on a good first year. And yeah, the Cal loss bothers me more than had Miami lost to NC State. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the FSU game and the Cal game were games we should have won. So yeah, there have been games that we should have won that we didn't. But again, 20 plus wins this season, it gives you some hope for the future. I don't want people, in our mentions, because it happens, that saying we're being too negative and you're not real fans and blah, 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 blah. We're fans. We've been following this team forever. So, but no.
Yeah, but again, the Cal game is just the ball bouncing the other way.
Yeah, exactly.
That shit's going to happen.
But at the end of the day, it's a successful first season, and we can.
Yeah, but these are steps in the right direction, right?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The goal is to not, and we talked about this a lot with football too over the last few years, right? When everyone's like, we keep losing close games. The goal is to not be in close games. The goal is to beat the shit out of people.
Yeah.
Because anytime you get into a close game, there's an element of chance there.
Mm-hmm.
Could be a blown officiating call. Could be missing a shot you normally make. Could be someone on their team just catching fire in the last few minutes and making some shots.
It's like last year when Matt Cleveland missed that shot to win the game at Wake Forest, and I feel like that was a turning point that just brought the program.
That was 2 years ago.
Was it 2 years ago? I don't.
Yes.
Whenever it was, when
I was there.
I was like Matt Cleveland makes that if we're at home, and then it was just the end of it was.
But I mean, that's the goal. Program. The goal of the programs is to not play close games.
Yeah, but year one to be in close games and win a lot.
Yeah, no, he's doing great. He's doing great.
I just want to say too, like to do it, like ACC this year is a lot more competitive.
Oh yeah.
Like you look at it. I mean, say what you will about the analytics of it and whatnot. Like the ACC is valued as like a more competitive conference this year than it was last year. And so to be third. Or whatever, tied for third or third. Well, we have the tiebreaker, right? Is that what it was? But either way, to be third in the ACC in year one is insane.
Yeah.
I
think when we did our preseason predictions, the media had us finishing 8th, and I think we all picked lower than that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, we did.
I think I remember saying if we finished 8th, I'd be extremely happy, and that would be a successful season.
Yeah, no, we did. So we are 10-3. NC State and Clemson are 10-4. Those are the teams behind us in the standings.
Have we played
Virginia's
Clemson?
11-2. We did. We lost.
Oh, okay. So they have the tiebreak over us, but we have the tiebreak over NC State.
Yeah, and then North Carolina's 8-5. We're actually we're 2 games up in the loss column.
Yeah, they might lose some more because they're without their center and Caleb Wilson. So.
Then Louisville's also 8-5. So yeah, there's definitely an opportunity to earn the double bye.
Yeah, which is insane.
Well, it isn't. It isn't, right? I mean, I started talking about this earlier, but like, look, this guy's not balanced. We're gonna play Virginia for the only time this weekend. We don't play Duke. We played NC State once, North Carolina once, Louisville we're gonna play once. Those are the top teams in the conference. Some of them have to play each other twice.
Yep.
I mean, it's the same. It's the reverse of. No, it's the reverse of football. Where like, how did Duke get in there? They lost all the good teams they played and didn't play anyone else. And that doesn't matter for the tiebreaker, and so it's just. So I mean, there is that element across all of college athletics now, where the schedules are unbalanced, even within the same conference. But you can only beat the teams you're playing. So, and again, out of those teams I mentioned, 2 of those games haven't happened yet. So sitting at 10-3 is great, but. Some we still have to play Louisville and Virginia. 2 of the 5 games left are 2 of the better teams in the conference. So those are more opportunities actually to put more scalps on the wall. Because right now, I mean, that's one of the great things with the schedule, especially for a first-year coach and a team that's kind of been matched together, is you can run up these impressive records, but then from a resume standpoint, we have 2 good wins. You can take that to 4 if you can win these games, and then you really put up. Then you're talking about a much higher seed, and hopefully, now we're start talking about where do you sit in the tournament.
It's nice. Like I honestly, like the FSU game, Cal games are games we could have had, but for the most part, we've won the games we're supposed to win. Like our 2 losses in non-conference were to a top 10 and a top 25 team. And those were games where like we were in it in the first half, but they have so many bodies. I think like Florida had like 4 guys over 7 feet. Like it's just to a point where when you're a team put together, with glue from the portal, it's hard to stay in those games. So like I wasn't expecting us to win those games, and I thought we battled well. And then you get to conference play and you win some games maybe you shouldn't have, and then obviously the FSU and the Cal game, whatever, were close. But listen, we've got a chance here down the stretch to build the resume and earn that ACC double bye, which would be massive, and hopefully get some momentum going into the NCAA tournament. But it's been fun. So do we want to move on to final thoughts?
Sure.
Final thoughts today. Pains me to say it, but not really, because they deserve it. I'm officially 100% done with Chipotle after the announcement that they're raising their prices again. Never going back there again. Not supporting them. Just like, dude, like, what are you doing here? Like, go to a sit-down restaurant and get a meal for the same price. Like, ridiculous. So I am, you can officially clog it. Never going back again. It's been trash over there.
Instead of final thoughts, that should have been breaking news.
I think Matt's been headed that direction. He has been falling out of love with Chipotle over the last year, I would say.
Yeah, it's been longer than a year, almost 2.
Yeah.
But like now, it's
What?
I would still go on occasion, but it's over now.
Well, I mean, that's. Yeah, I mean, that is the way the country is going.
Yeah. Also, I do want to shout out the newest addition to the wall, my 4 Strong banner. As you guys know, Canes basketball player Marcus Allen is battling lymphoma. He does have a GoFundMe. It's been all over the basketball team's Instagram and Twitter, so donate if you can. Shout out to Marcus Allen. Hope to see you back on the court next year. We're with you, and cue the Sox outro. Don't cry.
We get buckets.
Keep it chill.
Yeah, baby.
Wear good socks.
Buckets.